Hey, it's me, Stevie from Stevie Reacts 2. I am back. Sorry for the long delay for those who are watching. Anyway, playing with y'all. Anyway, but I'm sorry it took me so long. I had to deal with some personal issues, and so, and then of course editing is a bitch anyway. So even if I didn't have that, it still probably would have took a little bit of time. Um, Today I'm just going to do fluid conscience. Conscious. See, I can't even speak anymore. Uh, I'm having way too much fun with this one. Fluid thought. There we go. And the reason why I'm leaving that part in is because I want to just be human today. There's a lot of things that have been going on. Um, the D23 trailer that came out 2 weeks ago for Star Wars, um, uh, Rise of Skywalker. Uh, I've also watched, finally, I didn't watch it in theaters. That's why I say finally. I watched Dark Phoenix and got some notes on that one. I actually really, really thought that the hype wasn't deserved, but the hate was nowhere near deserved. So I got thoughts on that one. So, and then also, they really did Bad Boys for Life. That movie is really coming out. Let's start with that one. So, okay, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith are back once again. And while I enjoyed Bad Boys 2, Bad Boys, the very first one, is it's the best. Unless they can bring something out with this new movie. That's all I'm saying. But when I was watching the trailer, I watched it from shout out to Nerd to Nerd. Oh, wait, I should know their channel name because I watch them all the time. Uh, Nerd to New 16, something to that effect. And I apologize if I effed up your name. I'll look it up. If you ever watch this, love you. Trust me, I'm not trying to mess up your name. It's just early. That's the reason why. Um, but it looked entertaining. It was the first trailer. Had the comedy with the action. Of course, it looks more glossy because of the fact uh, it looks more glossy because we're doing a lot more of the HD type of vibe with the cameras, and I'm gonna have to look that up too because I can't sit here and talk to y'all and be like not sounding like I know what I'm talking about. I can't. Um, but I really enjoyed the trailer, and it was very funny because, like I said, on that particular YouTube channel, um, Nerd to News 16, I believe that's what it's called. Uh, the female anchor, shut up, talking to my phone. Sorry. The female anchor, she was like, I'll watch it, but I mean, I didn't like, and she was basically saying like, I'm not sure about it, but at the same time, it looks interesting, but I'm not feeling it yet. So, yeah, okay, all right. While all three of the other three anchors, which were all men, were like, yeah. In fact, one said he has the Bad Boys, Bad Boys 1 and 2 in every platform, every format. So every time, like DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, he has it. I was like, dude, it was good, but it wasn't that good. I might stream it, rent it. Hell, if I catch it on cable one day, I'll be like, oh yeah, let me get some popcorn and watch it. I ain't going that far. This is not Hot Fuzz. Um, yeah, I'm gonna remember that part. Love that movie, by the way. The Cornetto trilogy. Anyway, so that being said, my final thoughts on Bad Boys, Bad Boys for Life, Bad Boys 3, basically, is that it's rock'em sock'em, you know, summer blockbuster feeling. Although I never checked to see exactly when it's coming out because it looks like it's coming out this year, maybe next year. Because they missed the blockbuster season, and that's a blockbuster movie, so more likely it's going to come out next year. Excuse me. Um, so let's see where that goes. I'll talk more about it as it comes along, but right now that's all I got. Now, like I said for my last one, D23, Star Wars, uh, Rise. I told you it was early. Rise of Skywalker. I literally sat there and had to think about it. Rise of Skywalker. The nostalgia was beautiful. I was sitting there and feeling like a little kid watching it. And I was born in, yes, I'm going to tell my age. I was born in 1982. So when Return of the Jedi came out, I was only one. When the VHS came out, of course, VHS, it took them like years. Well, not years. It took them like a year or so because that's when we used to have the movies in the movie theater longer, for almost a year or so. So by the time that I was able to watch any of them, I had to be about three or four, I believe. Return of the Jedi was the first one I saw because that's the first VHS one. It was the newest VHS one that came out. And then, of course, over time, I saw the other ones. Empire Strikes Back is still, as far as the original trilogy, by far my favorite. No, no contest. Period. Um, but when they started showing a lot of the new material this time around, it wasn't that I wasn't excited before, especially with Ray doing that little flip around the TIE fighter that may or may not be Kylo Ren. Everyone keeps saying, oh, it's Kylo, it's Kylo. How many of stormtroopers have had the black gloves and the black suit? I mean, come on now. Don't play. You don't know. You just assume it. Um, However, it probably was. I'll say. Now, um, it was amazing. I mean, just like, um, oh, I'll get to that part in a second. I was just thinking about it, but I'll get to that part in a second. Just the cinematography, the symphony, the score that was behind it, uh, it was amazing. And I can't give you all the details. I wish I could sit there and be like one of the big wigs that can have a little, you know, bar and we're watching it together. I ain't got that kind of sophistication yet. Hmm. It's not. It's coming soon though, to a theater or a YouTube near you. Since I see here, yeah, yeah. I'm starting basic, but everyone had to start basic sometime. So, and I don't have an editor that's on my side to be like to help me out with all this stuff. So, like I said before, I have to edit this shit myself. Feel sorry for me. I'm joking. But long story short, it was fantastic. Um, the one part, other than seeing Kylo and Rey fight on a piece of the Death Star from Return of the Jedi, which sidebar history lesson. George Lucas, if you didn't know, and you're hearing this now, I'm just saying it. George Lucas actually wanted to call it Revenge of the Jedi and had it in red letters. In fact, he made posters promoting it, which you can barely find now. You probably have to go on eBay or something like that to find it. Which actually I kind of like that name better, but given the tone and how light he made the movie, it kind of makes sense that it's Return of the Jedi, not Revenge of the Jedi. So anyway, um, my favorite part was right at the end, and it was very reminiscent, and I think that's the reason why they did a kind of like a callback to when Luke went to the cave at Dagobah. Do I have the name of the planet correct? If I don't, and you're watching this, please leave a comment and let me know if I'm wrong, because sometimes I get my history mixed up with my Star Wars lore, because there's so much. Um, but he had to face. He faced what he thought was Darth Vader, and it was actually he was facing himself. It was the dark side of himself. And then at the end of this newest trailer from D23 for episode 9, Rey at the end is shown cloaked out, dark, all dark, eyes sunken in, with a dual lightsaber that she just goes whoosh, and it looks just like Darth Maul. And I'm like, oh, please please let that happen. Please do not cut that out of the movie. That was amazing, hands down, amazing. Um, so that's D23. And now the coup de raw, or the ending. I ain't got that much time left. I gotta go to work. Um, Dark Phoenix, B minus. That's how good I thought it was. I'm not giving it an A. Does not deserve an A. Any kind of A. Does not deserve a B plus or a B. It's a B minus. It's not anything less than that, in my opinion. The writing was actually well versed, in my opinion. The acting was actually better than I expected. Especially, shout out to Sophie Turner. She killed it. She really killed it. Out of everyone, because she had to carry that weight. And I know everyone gets on her like, oh, she, especially being Anya and everything like that. Not Anya, but oh, too much Buffy in my head. I've been watching Buffy reviews, so I'm thinking Anya. But that's not her name. Anyway, um, the only thing that I didn't like was that there was no chemistry between her and Ty Sheldon. Like those two actors trying to be Jean Grey and Scott Summers. Like, he was fine being Scott Summers, kind of. I don't like Scott Summers anyway, but he did a good job being a Scott Summers. Like, I liked him better than James Mars, whatever his name is, from the original trilogy. I liked him, but I like Ty better. But the chemistry between Sophie and Ty didn't work. Even when they kissed, it was like, mm-mm, nah, nah, not feeling it, guys, not feeling it. And that's the reason why I really enjoyed them not being together. Not really like hanging out together. Um, so the only thing I can say is that it has flaws, and everyone was dogging it. Oh, reshoots, and like I was telling someone earlier today, is that a lot of times, especially diehard fans, the geeks, the nerds, the blurs, the blagurds, or blay nerds, as one of my friends said, um, we all kind of get sucked into this bubble sometimes when we're hearing about production. And then when we hear that they had to do this, or the what was it called, or what's it called, or the theater date has changed because of reshoots or post production or anything, we flip a lid. And I was watching it, and I said, and I agreed with the person that was watching it with me. I agreed, and I said, yeah, no, this is actually a pretty decent movie, if not a good movie. Um, Flaws, yes, but half the movies that we see have flaws in it. I mean, there are very few movies nowadays that are perfect. So for me, it's not about going in there expecting my movie to be perfect. I want it to be authentic. I want to feel that I'm really getting an experience from it. Regardless, shoot, I used to like Charlie's Angels. I can't believe I just said that. Mm, McG. No, let me leave him alone. At least, hey, he was successful. He is successful. Well, was, because I haven't seen him in anything else recently. Um, doesn't mean he's still not making bank, because I think he's more of an executive producer now. But long story short, I really enjoyed the movie. Special effects they did need to do some reshoots and really get into the post production, because what we were seeing before is not what we see when you watch. Is not what you see when you're watching a movie. So they really hyped up on the CGI and everything like that, so it doesn't look crass and crappy. Excuse me. So that's it. Like I said, it's gonna be kind of random, flowy, but at least I knew what I wanted to talk about, and this is probably one of the longest I've ever had, so I apologize. But the next one, I don't know. I'll figure that out when I figure it out. Huh? I was kidding. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, or at least watching 5 minutes of it. Hey, we all have lives, so sometimes I don't even watch the people that I love on YouTube for the entire time. But if you do, thank you so much. Write a comment. Let me know how you guys are liking it. Share, comment, subscribe. Um, and yeah, that's it. So, oh, and as you can see, like I said, it's in the morning, so no fancy anything. I'm like, fuck y'all. No, love y'all. I just didn't care. So I'm just gonna be me. But anyway, take care of yourselves. Deuces. Bye.